playing a Juventus team, but you still can't put them past them. They could do some damage and end up killing Cristiano Ronaldo's hopes of winning the 4th Champions League.
Well, yeah, the thing that made that game kind of interesting was that Cristiano Ronaldo hadn't even stopped celebrating his goal when the Hawks came back and got him, right? They were like, yeah, you go ahead and celebrate, Cristiano Ronaldo. We got a goal for you. And they did. I mean, and then the rest of the game was pretty much just a draw as far as I was concerned. I didn't really see either team taking the stronghold. I think Hawks kind of held his own. But see, that's the problem. Now they have to go to Italy. Mm-hmm. And are they going to is holding their own going to be enough?
For Juventus?
For a Hawks.
Ajax, they have to come on and win. They're playing in Turin. They're playing where, it's anybody's fortress. Any home team, it's their fortress.
Right.
But unfortunately, Juventus has that goal away. It always ends up, if they end up tying, drawing with the game, Juventus will go because of that goal they scored away.
This is true, and in the end, Hawks cannot afford to either give up a lead or go into penalties and stuff. They need to really tighten down that fort and go for the win, and that'll be an interesting one. Again, I thought United looked very uninspired. I didn't think that there was a lot of I don't know. I just didn't see a lot of spark in him, and I don't know if it's fatigue coming in or what. But at the same time, Barcelona, they scored the goal. They had most of the possession in that game, right? Mm-hmm. United outshot them at goal. But see, that's the thing. It was so unmemorable that I don't even remember any shots being hit.
Yeah.
They took some shots, but not on goal. I'm sorry. Let me just rephrase that. There was 10 shots to 6 shots. But the shots on goal were 3 for Barca and no shots on goal for Manchester United. Mm-hmm. Again, that's the thing about Ole, and this is where I prove my point to you about where I didn't hardly even saw the goalkeeper of Barca. You have 3 saves by David De Gea.
Yeah.
And since there was no shots on goal to Barcelona's goal, there's no saves to be had.
If I were Man United, you're playing go for broke.
You have to at this point.
And to me, I think the best forwards are in Man United. They have the Rashfords. They have the Lindegaards. They're quick. Give it to Lukaku. He's a bruiser. He'll pass it. He has a good left foot as for passing.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, Messi and Suarez and Coutinho and Dembele is hurt, right?
Dembele is hurt. That's why Coutinho is in there.
He's playing, yeah.
Yeah, so that is I don't know, man. Possession of the ball, like I said, I just saw United looking for a counter, but the goal came very early in the game, so Barca was just kind of holding it.
Goal.
Yeah, and
I think it was a.
Yeah, it was an own goal. It was
it bounced off Luke Shaw. Or something like that.
It was a divergent goal, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I didn't see much of, but see, that's the thing. They kind of looked lifeless after that. They were waiting for something to happen, and Barca just kind of kept the ball away. It was a lot of keep away at that point. So I didn't see, any spark there. I agree with you. They got to go for broke.
They have to. All teams have to go over there. It's not. Oh, they beat the crap out of us in the game before. These are, games that where you can win. You can surpass that losing game from before. Even the draw that you did, and you're still losing that one goal. You can't. Attainable wins.
Right. Now, the other game that was actually kind of interesting was City versus Spurs. They played in London at Spurs at their new stadium. The goal came very late in the game. Came at 78 minutes of the game, almost 80 minutes. To me, it was kind of a Spurs at that point kind of had to play almost a counter game. Because Kane was out. He got himself hurt.
Yeah.
And so...
How bad was the roll? I didn't see it.
It looked pretty gruesome.
Yeah?
I didn't like it.
Kind of like mine where I fucking...
Yeah, I don't like to see fucking ankles twisting ways they're not supposed to.
Again, like last week, like that girl that snapped her legs.
Yeah, the one that doesn't want you to see her.
Yeah, she said not to. You told me earlier that she said.
She said don't spread it around and stuff, and that only caused other people goes, what broken legs? Let me check it out. Duh.
Oh shit! Let me share this.
Would have been forgotten by now, but oh well. I mean,
how does that happen though? Like, what causes your structure to break to the point? Or you're not drinking, or you're not taking any vitamins, or it's just a freak of nature where you just, you know what, I'm gonna break.
It's just the human condition, man. What can you say? But City had most of the possession of the ball. However, this is where I agree with the statistics. This is exactly what I saw too. The shots on goal were 13-10 for Tottenham because Tottenham was playing on a counter. They were playing counter, and that's
well, that's how you kind of play against a team that possess a lot of the amount of the ball.
Right, but at the same time, it was kind of interesting because the back line for City, which has kind of been pretty sturdy and stuff, was kind of not as solid as it usually was, and you had De Bruyne playing in there, so you can't say that it's that they didn't have their best players on the field.
Yeah,
they did. The one shot that Song got off, one shot.
Yeah, but I saw that goal where he grabbed it like almost at the touchline. He played with the goalie or the players and then he shot it. Like, come on, what kind of defense is that?
Exactly my point. The back line for City on the counter looked very suspect. Their midfield looked pretty good, but their forwards were shut down, and that's to Tottenham's credit. They knew how to defend themselves. They knew when to see the open man and when to go out and attack, and attack they did only in spurts, but a lot of the shots that they took were like field goal shots. They would have gotten 3 points. Even then, they would have missed on a lot of it because they're so wide at some point. But the ones that they got on target were low shots that City had to defend well. The goalie had to really kind of hit it, make the saves because otherwise those were going to be clear goals and. Again, a deserved win, I think, for Tottenham. Maybe a little lucky,
but it had its consequences.
Exactly, and I think now City,
they're gonna go all out. They're
gonna have to go all out. Especially now that Kane is no longer there. So,
well, one player does make a difference, but you got other players. They could hopefully take over for him, and now they're leaning on Son more than ever right now.
Well. This is a good time for I keep pronouncing his name all lame. Piccinini or whatever his name is. Pochettino
or something.
Pochettino, yeah. This is the time for him to actually shine and try to really, coach.
Get those pieces and puzzles in order for them.
Because I think a lot of the problem that's happened to Tottenham this season is his tactics, are his way of approaching the game. I think Tottenham is one of those teams that, maybe a little suspect in the defense, but they have to be an attacking team. If you push them back to the midfield, they become kind of useless, really. They're not. Yeah. They don't really do much if you kind of keep them pinned down there. They're not the kind of team that is creative in the middle. That's another thing I think of Tottenham. And I think that also goes down to the coach.
Yeah.
They have to have some sort of scheme where they're able to outplay or at least outthink the other team. And I think that Tottenham's problem has been that they don't outthink their opponents too much.
Tottenham is a team. What do you think of them?
I like the talent. It's just that I don't think the talent is being mined correctly.
This is a team back in the day where it was just, to me, they remind me of not even an Arsenal, maybe like of a CP kind of Everton in the middle of the pack. But somehow for the past couple of years, they've been caliber team, they're beating teams that they're up in the top tier. That's why you see the Man Uniteds and the Arsenals out of Champions League play because of that Tottenham. What is it that they're doing good or great that they're up there now, competing for those championships? Well, because
they'll go on. I think the big difference is that Tottenham is, or at least not this season, and even in some seasons past. Or at least in I would say the last 2-3 seasons, they've beaten teams they need to beat. Although this year they've kind of faltered against some teams. But the problem with Tottenham is that they still struggle against the other top 5 teams. Mm-hmm. There's always that struggle. They can't beat Liverpool. They can't beat United. They can't beat Arsenal. They can't beat Chelsea. They can't beat City. So that's where I think they're hitting that wall.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes they'll lose a fluke ass game like
they know that they play like shit and they lose to Huddersfield or Cardiff.
Exactly. So I think it's an approach kind of thing. I think it's the manager either failing to motivate or coming up with the right plan to beat teams they should beat thoroughly. Because this last weekend they beat Huddersfield. They should beat Huddersfield.
Yeah.
Nobody should be shocked that there was a 4-0 score. You know, what should be shocking is that they didn't beat these kind of teams earlier in the season. I think this was the complaint that we had of teams like Liverpool and then United this season, that they couldn't beat these kind of teams before. You know, and so now, you know, now that they're doing it, everybody's like, well, yeah, they played this team, they played that team.
Yeah, those it should be between, like you said, those are the guaranteed 3 points.
Exactly, and I think that's been the problem with Tottenham and the way that
the good thing about them also is they're keeping their star players. They're not selling them out like Southampton and Leicester's. They're keeping the Songs. They're keeping the Kanes. That's a good point.
That's it forms stability in the organization. Yeah. But I think that they really need players that are going to put them over the top. Dembele might be Debe Ali is he's gonna be great if he just doesn't stay injured, and that's his problem.
Yeah,
that's his problem.
Injured, and he's a good player, and he was, I think, in the same season that Salah played. Mm-hmm. He was like one of those good players that came out that season. Yeah. But this year, like you said, through injuries, he hasn't been that player.
Right. He kind of regressed this year. Yeah. As opposed to actually take advantage of that. But that's the thing as well. You know, Song is he's proven to be durable and he's proven to be reliable.
He's a great player. I think he's probably one of the best Korean players or Asian players that I don't know if he's from Korea.
Yeah, I think he's Korean,
that I've seen besides Park Ji-sung, and there's been Katana from Japan. Right. He's up there. He's better than all of them, I think.
Yeah. Well, because he's got a better, I think he's technically better, you know, than those guys. Last Champions League game is going to be played in Portugal, in Porto. Liverpool took a 2-0 lead at home. Pretty much dominated this game. They were even on shots on goal, but Liverpool took 15 shots. There was a 3 in the second part again, and this is kind of the part where Liverpool always kind of does this. They'll take a lead and then just kind of relax.
That's what I kind of seemed like we spoke earlier. Liverpool played lights out, and then they just put the cruise control and
they think, hey, you know, we're done and this is good enough. Yeah, you know,
they shouldn't. Like we're the type of coaches. If we were coaches, right, by the end of the 90th minute, we want to up the score regardless of what 2-0, 8-0. Continue scoring until you hear the final whistle. That's the way I am. That's what I would like to see. But I guess like that unwritten rule like baseball has, boxing, hockey, and even soccer. There's some rules like they're not. I guess it's just for teams and stuff like that. Or like, oh, we shouldn't be scoring that much. No.
No. There was this douchebag coach that that I coached against a couple years back, who was out there trying to win 10-0 games and stuff, you know, and they're little girls, you know, they're not out there.
That it's understandable. You just beat them and that's it.
Yeah. So no, but not this guy. You know, he wanted to sit there and win by 10 goals or whatever. So last year when I had you remember my team that I had? They were a pretty good little team. Yeah. And we were up 5-0. The referee came up to me, hey, you know, you might want to lay off. And then I looked at the other side and I saw who it was. And so we won 12-0.
Holy shit. Sure. Let's put it on cruise control.
Yeah, let's put it on cruise control. No, don't score 20. 12 is good.
12 is good.
12 is good.
Yeah, but yes. Doesn't.
But Liverpool goes on to Porto with a 2-0 lead. Now, Naby Keita has all of a sudden gone from $35 million bust to being one of the... I mean, today he played lights out in the game against Porto. He scored. That was the second game in a row where he scored. Firmino, your boy, he scored in the 26th minute of that game. Liverpool had 60% of the possession. I think Porto was kind of playing to not get their asses kicked.
And you know, they kind of didn't because obviously the 2-0 score.
Right, but they also had a nice run in the middle of the game. Mm-hmm. You know,
yeah, we were talking about that. They could have scored. They could have tied.
Right,
even at least put a goal into that game. that they could take back to Portugal, but they didn't.
But again, missed opportunities, and again, lackadaisical play from Liverpool, which they got to start tightening down on that stuff, because there's going to come a team that's going to know how to take advantage of that.
These are not the days or